You got money to burn. Buy some urns, right?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of buying urns, I'm Oliver Ricketts.
I'm
They're
Jeremy
probably-
Kessler.
I'm Brittany. They're probably going to have to buy some urns in this movie.
And
before it gets
I'm
murked.
Marco or Bernardo.
And we're about to go see Ready or Not.
Here I come.
This is an interesting one because I've heard fairly positive things about this movie, but I'm pretty sure they released it before the marketing campaign happened.
It's also interesting because we haven't done a fucking ride home review in like what feels like
Since
months
Once
at
Upon a
this
Time,
point.
right?
No, the last one was Fast and Furious.
Well, there hasn't been stuff that I've been itching to see.
No, we're in a summer slump.
About the marketing campaign, I feel like there's been a lot last minute. I've seen a lot of stuff on YouTube. I feel like it's only come about the past like week or two leading up to the movie.
And it's been a long time since I've been to a movie and seen a preview for another movie that is out right now.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to us the other night when we went to see Good Boys.
Good boy.
I mean, about the marketing, I haven't heard about this movie until today.
And I only heard about it when I stumbled upon a very positive review of this movie that made me want to go see it. And I think it's a really, like, bonkers, weird, crazy concept. She gets married to this guy, and then her family is cursed and needs to kill her in a certain time frame,
What the fuck?
so she has to hide from them.
I feel like it has like some kind of ritual spin to it.
They gave away way too much in the trailer.
Yeah, that I wouldn't. I mean, I would rather have just found out in the movie.
And that to me says, oh, we didn't release trailers on time. Let's throw what we got. And there wasn't a lot of thought about how to market it. Which is disappointing if it's a really good movie, but if it's a bad movie, then it's like, yeah, good. Everybody will forget all about it. It'll make no money. It isn't going to make any money, period. I hope they didn't spend a lot.
I haven't seen this trailer that you guys are talking about. I want that on the table.
The new trailer.
So you're
The second
totally
trailer.
unaware of this.
You haven't
movie.
seen any trailers,
I'm going in so fucking cold to whatever this movie is supposed to be.
Have you ever
Literally,
heard...
all that I know about the movie is the stuff that you guys just said.
You haven't seen the trailer at all. I saw it in front of Good Boys, but I walked in at the end. So, I haven't seen the full trailer, and I don't feel like a shit ton of stuff was spoiled for me.
Talking about spoilers, one of my Facebook friends, I'm going to call you out, Joe, posted the ending
to the
of
movie.
the movie
Fuck, Joe.
like 3 days
Joe.
after
Fuck
it came
you,
out,
Joe.
Joe, you fucking...
And like, I purposely don't watch Joe's movie reviews if he sees the movie before I do. But when he made this post, he ruined the ending.
Joe, what are you doing?
Amateur move, Joe.
It's
Skip
not-
to the end of this video and we'll spoil it too.
Skip to this time code on the screen.
Right here. This time.
Oh, don't do that to me. Now I gotta... It's
Yep.
so hard to find the time code.
Too fucking bad.
Just fucking cut it out.
Yeah, you don't
No.
have to joke it.
Don't cut it out.
I just want to make a note before we start this that Jeremy is wearing his seatbelt and he is not going anywhere in this car.
This is a studio set. There's not even a car here.
That's right. This is all green
That's
screen.
the-
Someday we'll rent a car and not actually drive in it. We just got out of seeing... What the fuck is this movie?
Ready or Not.
Thank you. Surprise isn't the right word, but I did really, really enjoy this movie. Are there little nitpicks that I would change? Sure. But I got exactly what I wanted going in, which was a pretty fun movie that wasn't taking itself too seriously and knew exactly what it was. And I was able to have fun with this from beginning to end with only a couple minor changes that I would make.
I also enjoyed the movie for the most part. I really don't like horror movies, but again, this was almost along the lines of like a Happy Death Day, where it really wasn't like super horror. It was like on a horror scale of like 1 to 10, 1 being like not horror and 10 being like the most horrific thing I've ever seen. Is probably only like a 4. I appreciated that. Like if you're going into this looking for like a straight up horror movie, you're gonna be disappointed. But I appreciated the fact that I could watch the movie. There was still enough story and enough plot that wasn't just like, oh, we're just gonna show you people being murdered for an hour and a half. So I like that.
I don't know. I wasn't like crazy about it. It wasn't bad though, but I don't know. Alright, anyway.
Follow that fucking shocker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll try. I enjoyed it. I do think that there was a little bit too much revealed in the trailer. Holy crap, that's
Hello.
blinding. I thought it was a little predictable at times, and obviously it goes with kind of a lot of classic, you know, suspense tropes, cliches. A lot of very convenient things happen or don't happen. It didn't necessarily take me out of it too much to where like I couldn't enjoy it still.
I'd say a movie like this gets away with a lot of that stuff by not taking itself totally seriously.
Exactly, yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as to call this a straight up horror comedy, but it is a light-hearted horror with some funny parts. Even gore bothers me in things that are trying to be serious horror because I feel like it's a cheap card to play. If you really have a scary movie, you don't need to do that to me. Your premise will be scary. But in something like this, where the gore is not so much to offend me and scare me, most of the time it's played up as a joke. I'm totally down with that. Do I think they maybe went overboard with it a couple times? Absolutely. This movie has too many fucking jump scares.
I agree.
And I get that that's because the movie is not very scary to begin with.
It's just cheap.
There were also some scenes that were legitimately very tense, I thought at least, where I really didn't know what was going to happen, and I was actually invested enough to give a shit about what the outcome was going to be, so I will definitely give it that.
Again, as I said before, I really am not a fan of horror movies, so is this like a type of movie like I'm gonna watch again? No. I'm gonna tell people, oh, you have to go see that? No. But I definitely enjoyed it for what it was while I was watching it, and when I saw the trailers, I was really intrigued by it, so I wanted to see what happened. So I'm glad that I saw it, and I feel like if you like these kind of movies, that this is a somewhat enjoyable one, because it's just kind of like fun as opposed to being horrific.
It's an appropriately placed movie because it's not time for your big heavy hitters, and it's just for people who want to go heavy hitters.
And it's like, honestly, like I'd rather watch a movie like this than watch like a fucking another Halloween reboot.
Yeah.
I don't like horror movies either. I actually didn't really find it that scary though.
This obviously went for fun.
Right.
But I do like the premise for a horror movie of I married into this family and now this totally psychotic thing is going on and I can't get out. And actually, for the beginning of the movie, before you really know what the tone is going to be, I was a little nervous for her and there was a pit in my stomach. And they are able to play that up really well.
There's just too much shown in the trailer. There are scenes where I feel like it would have been a little more humorous or a little more tense or something like that if I hadn't already seen it. I essentially knew that nothing really bad was going to happen because I knew that there were other scenes that I was going to see where she was fine or other people were fine. It's a little annoying. I kind of wish maybe I hadn't seen the trailer, but weirdly enough, the second trailer is what actually made me want to see it more.
Most interesting because I'm the only person here that did not see like any promotional material or trailers at all for this movie. I'm getting the vibe I enjoyed it the least though.
I'm not really in a rush to go see it again. Not really in a rush to show it to other people. Again, if this is what you want to watch, I'll say, hey, watch it. I won't turn you away from it,
Right.
but I'm not going to tell you to watch it. So I give it a...
Hey.
No.
Yep.
Yep, A. I'll give it a B minus. I'm kind of C plus B minus. I'm gonna go B minus because Adam Brody was pretty awesome in this movie, and I enjoy him.
I think I actually liked it a little more than you or feel a little enthusiastic about it, but I'm actually going to give it a very, very enthusiastic C plus, sort of along the lines of how I did Fast and Furious. I actually did really enjoy this and had a great time watching it. I will never watch it again, nor will I ever think about it again. But for what it was worth, I had a pretty good time. And it's a well-made movie. It's very well put together. I don't know who directed it, but he's definitely got a style to him, and I appreciate that. It's a C+, but it's not a bad C.
It's a good C. It's a high C.
Orange.
It was directed by two people, Matt Bettinelli Open and Tyler Gillett.
It's one of these duos.
Yeah.
Friends. I really think I'm gonna like go home and like not think about this movie ever again and forget about it until we go to make our top 10s
So
and I see this
Lion
on my
King?
list and go, oh yeah, Ready or Not, that movie, oh yeah. To that effect, it's like, how much credit can I give it? Was the experience during it that enjoyable? I'm on the lesser end of that than what Oliver said. So I'm gonna give it C minus. Wasn't the worst thing in the world. But wasn't great, which is a shame, honestly.
I'm gonna go along the same lines that Marco did and give it like a B minus. Like, I feel like when I start putting movies in like the C's, I really had a lot of issues with it, and like I didn't really have that many issues with this movie. You know, like it other than it being like unremarkable, which I guess could be an issue. It's a movie that I saw. It's a movie that I don't need to see again. I'm glad that I saw it because I was curious about it, but other than that, like, that's pretty much the extent of it.
We do have to spoil it because we promised. Big spoiler for this movie. If you don't want to know, stop watching right now. Because there's really only one fucking spoiler, and I'm going to give it to you. So at the end of the movie, they kind of fake you out.
A little bit.
And I'm just not a fan of when movies do that. I think you gotta pick one thing and stick with it.
Deal with the devil.
An ancestor of theirs has made a deal with the devil, and they don't actually know if it's a legitimate thing or not, that they
It's
have
just
to
tradition.
kill this girl before the end of the night. At the end of the movie, it takes them a little while to actually blow up, to the point where you're wondering if it was all fake. And I thought that would have been a great ending to this movie, because now you've seen all these characters change their motives based on not wanting to die. And I thought that would have been really interesting. I still wanted to see all those people die because they deserved it, but it would have been cool if they had figured out something else to do. Maybe the older lady kills them all, I don't know.
I think the only issue with them not dying is what would then happen to Grace. You've been through this journey with this character the entire time, for her to then just be killed like it's nothing.
Well, I'm not
You
even
could've
saying I
also
don't
just,
want them to
taken out
die.
You could have also taken out the moment where the Aunt was like gonna kill her.
You could have ended it with them
But
not
again,
blowing up.
they
That
would
could have been the end of the movie. And then just a hard cut to black.